We're starting with an organization that works to help girls build confidence and a positive self-image by getting them moving. Girls on the Run New Hampshire celebrates not only the big accomplishments like running and finishing a 5K, but also the little milestones along the way.
From WMUR News 9, this is Heart of New Hampshire.
Joining us today to talk more about Girls on the Run is Executive Director Jen Hubble and Program Manager Jess Theriault. You guys, thank you so much for spending your Sunday morning with us. We want to jump right into it. Jen, tell us about the mission of Girls on the Run.
Sure. It's long, but I think it speaks a lot to what we do. You know, we are celebrating girls at a young age to reinforce their confidence with self-image and moving forward in a positive, wonderful way.
Yes, and you're getting them moving.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit, Jess, about the age groups here, because really so many kids are involved, but how young can they be?
Yes, so we have two programs. One is our flagship Girls on the Run program for 3rd to 5th graders. So we're talking about girls that are 8 to 11 years old. And then we also have a middle school program, which selfishly as a former middle school teacher, I love, and that's for 6th to 8th graders, so 12 to 14 years old. So anywhere from 8 to 14 years old, you can participate on Girls on the Run.
All right, we know that mental health is such a huge concern, and these days, especially for young girls. So let's talk a little bit about how Girls on the Run addresses mental health and some of those worries.
Sure. So you think about these young girls coming together in a group of 15 with their volunteer coaches, and they sit down supporting one another and choosing their pace, choosing their ability, choosing what they want to do to empower themselves. And if they can do something quite challenging like finishing a 5K, what else can they do? And it's taking care of their brains and their hearts while they're moving their bodies. What would you add?
Yeah, I would say also our curriculum gives them a great experience in that twice a week they can put down phones, they can put down screens, they can get outside with individuals who become their friends, and they learn resilience strategies like 5-finger breathing, like how to stop and ask for questions, and how to actually have conversations, how to make, keep, and when to maybe let go of friendships that aren't serving them. And I think all of those things are so important, and that's why I like to say we're an after-school run club, but we're about so much more than running.
That's so true. Can you talk to me about, and either one of you can explain it, but what does kind of a day in the life of a Girls on the Run member actually look like?
So it goes by so fast. Coaches meet with the girls for 90 minutes after school, twice a week. They get on board, they learn the topic of the day, they do a fun activity called the warm-up to get their bodies warmed up, and then the workout, which incorporates more and more time, more and more distance to work up to that 5K length. But each day they come together to learn a lesson that's going to satisfy something about them, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, pulling all of that together, and each lesson builds on one another.
Just an 8-week program, 2 times a week, and these girls are learning life lessons along the way. What are some of those life lessons?
Yeah, so one of the biggest life lessons that we teach is how to stick with something even when it's difficult. So every single day, girls think about their happy pace. And we talk with them about how their happy pace can change. Maybe they had a really tough day at school. Maybe there was a test and they're really tired. So is today a day that I'm going to walk? Is today a day that I'm going to skip? Is today a day that I'm going to walk backwards? Or is today a day that I'm going to run? You know, we allow them to check in with themselves. And I think that piece of resilience, no matter what you're doing, move forward. What does moving forward look like for you?
That is a life lesson that I needed like today, right now. So thank you so much, Jess, for that. I think about my daughter. She's 7, she'll be 8 in January, so you're gonna get her.
Good.
However, if I were to say to Thea, you're gonna go to a run club, she'd say that sounds terrible.
Yes.
I don't like running one bit. She wants to stay in the house and sing and dance. How is this, what would you say to those girls?
So Girls on the Run is for every single girl, whether she wants to be a runner or a walker or a dancer. It's really about for the participant to show up and do what she is comfortable with. My own daughter, who's 30. You know, she wasn't a runner, but she is a devoted 5K volunteer now. But the same thing, like do what you can and do what you want.
Yes. And that was you, Jess, right? You were one of those, I don't want to be a runner.
I think if you had asked 8-year-old me to run a 5K, I probably would have just started crying. Like that would have been my person. And now I'm someone that I have a best friend and we go out and we walk 5Ks together. And we've realized that that's something you can do. You don't have to be the fastest person out there. And I think Girls on the Run really shows girls that it's not about going out and being competitive and winning. It's about going out and doing something that you can. It's about feeling the joy of crossing that finish line and knowing that you reached your goal, whether it's at a walk, whether it's at a run, whether it's at a skip. It's all about believing in yourself.
Yeah. And briefly, will you guys just tell me your favorite part about that moment where you see the girls cross the finish line?
Oh my gosh, don't wear mascara. I mean, it's very powerful to see these girls and their chosen 5K buddy, whether it's a parent, a teacher, a coach. And it's emotional. It's joy. It's wow, look at what I did.
Sense of accomplishment that they all deserve so much, right? Well, thank you both so much for being here and for everything you do. You will see my daughter Thea at some point. I can't wait to get her involved. And if you want to find out more on how to get involved, get your kiddos involved, all you need to do is go to the Girls on the Run website. That is girlsontherunnh.org.